Hey guys, welcome to the Rat Grind channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to share some news with you guys. I've got back into my Robinhood trading. I got into some positions today. I did a day trade today and I got into a swing trade position. A lot has been happening in the crypto space as well. It was the last day of consensus. Some big news that was coming out of that as well, and some general information that's been coming out from the crypto space that I wanted to share with you guys. So if this is the first time that you're joining me on this particular channel, I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe, support this channel, hit the notification bell once you subscribe. Also, comment below, give me your feedback. I want to learn from you guys. I want to be able to share some ideas with you guys, bounce off ideas, so that we can both, all of us, make the most out of our journey out of the rat race. So this channel, if this is your first time, is my way to document my journey out of making the most of the different opportunities that I get into, whether it's crypto trading, long-term holdings on crypto, blockchain investments, projects, stock trading on Robinhood, also e-commerce stuff, internet marketing stuff, affiliate marketing, all that stuff. So I give you guys all of that information, basically whatever I'm doing to make the most out of my journey out of the rat race. I'm a full-time employee. I work full-time. I have a big family. I have a family of 5. So time is really very, very scarce for me. So with that said, I want to make sure that I'm able to share that with you guys, so I could put in context that even if you had very little time, there are opportunities in place, if you take advantage of them correctly, would allow you to make the most out of a journey out of the rat race. All right, so let's get started, guys. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about was, like I said, I'm back in my I'm back in my Robinhood trade. As you can see, oops, that screen was new. But so basically, as you can see the screen behind me, I'm basically casting my phone. You can see that today I took a trade position and I got about 2.18%. So about $6.70. That's important because I took a break. I took a couple of days break in the overall trading, because I made some bad calls in the last week and the previous week, that I lost a lot of my gains. As you can see on this particular chart, you see how much I gained and how much I dropped. So I wanted to sort of get out and really get back into it by really restudying the market, restudying the ETFs that I'm investing in, that I'm trading, so that I can make sure that I have all the right information, because I was basically getting in on the news last minute and I was trying to trade them and I was making the wrong calls at the time. So I lost some of my positions, but today I'm back in the green. So that's really, really great news. As you can see, I'm still up on overall since I got started. I started with about $220. Overall, I'm up 21%. So that's really, really good news for my trading. My goal is to be able to pattern day trade in the future, and I'm going to build this on a day-to-day basis, get 1.5 to 2% a day. If this is your first time, I shared with you guys a website that I go to. It's called compounddaily.com, where you can see that even if you start with a small amount, you could be able to make dramatic gains if you do it on a consistent basis. $200, $300 at 2% over 365 trades would net you about, I think, close to $40,000. So I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get to that number, but at least it gives you some context on why I'm bullish on just starting with a small amount and consistently making gains and being able to get in on that. So the trade that I did today, I did an oil trade. I bought this particular ETF, as you can see, Gush, right? So I was able to, as you can see behind me, I got in on that trade and I saw that it bounced down. And as soon as I saw the ticker, I saw the candle moving up. I went ahead and took a position on it and sold it before actually 25 cents less than what it closed at, but that was good enough for me because I already got my 2% gains. So I went out and closed that trade. As you can see, I got it today for $269.63, and I sold it when I already got to 276.50 cents. So that was a good enough trade for me. And then I've been studying a few more coins. I got into a natural gas position, which is a long position called UGAS. So that's the ETF that I got into, that I'm currently holding right now, that I'm looking into swing trading. As you can see behind me, it's currently red today, but I feel that it will bounce because tomorrow there's some news that's gonna come out. And last week, when this same news came out, there was some, the market reacted a certain way, and so I saw value in that, and that's why I took a position here. As you can see, I bought it for 59.63. I can see this pumping up to about $61 or so, and I'll probably get out of my position just to I can be able to take some of my profits from the market. Right now I'm up 15 cents or 0.17%. So it may dip down tomorrow, but there's news that's coming out that it will. So as you can see on investing.com, it was down today, but every Thursday at about 10:30 a.m., as you can see on the big screen, the weekly natural gas storage report comes out, and the next release date is tomorrow, May 17th at 10:30 a.m., right? So that would be on my time. That would be about 7:30 Pacific time. So that's right when I'm dropping my kids off to school. And as soon as that report comes out, I'll see when I get into the office. If it's a position that has already gained me my percentage goals, I'm going to get out of this position. Most likely I'm at the $61 range. So as you can see, the 1 week high last week was about $62. So I think if I can get to 61.50 or $62 even, I'm gonna definitely get out of this position, because I read this particular news right this morning when I was reading up on it. I was doing my research. I saw that last week the natural gas ignored a bearish inventory report last week. So the report was very bearish, but a lot of people took it still as a bullish sign, and they kept investing in natural gas. So that caused the price to continue to spike up. As you can see on my Robinhood account right here, if you can see right here, last week, May 10th, I hope you're seeing this. I have that little cursor going. So at 10:30 a.m., it pumped, right? As soon as 10 a.m. happened, it started to pump. It gained momentum, and it went up all the way to about $62. So that's what I'm hoping that will happen. Of course, you were never for sure. I can make the bad calls, but I'm very, very comfortable in this position. And if I have to, I'll take the loss if need be. But the gains potential that I could be able to make is still higher than the loss that I could potentially incur. And that was the mistake that I had last time. Was it dropped and I did not set my stop limit, and it went down, and I tried to hope and pray that it would recover, and the second day I held it, it dropped even more. And then I looked at the news, I looked at the RSI, I looked at the indicators, the technical indicators, and I saw that it was oversold. So I was hoping to at least get my position back and then sell it off. But for a third day, it dropped again. So I made a series of bad calls, and I wasn't able to take profits because, it went up when I bought the position, but I FOMO'd a little bit. I got greedy, and I thought I could make more than my normal 2% to 3%. And it dropped, and it never recovered for me. So that was a bad trade for me. That's why I made sure that I put in my stop limits, so that if it drops to a certain level, I'm not gonna lose my shirt on it. So that's the position I got into today. Let's look at my Thinkorswim on my phone. As you can see, my Thinkorswim on my phone right here. So it bounced off the bottom VWAP line, and it's currently trajecting up. So I saw that confirmation that it bounced. It may get some resistance on this middle VWAP line, but like I said, last week it was able to break through that line, and it turned bullish. The technical indicators is currently oversold. The MACD, you can't see it on the screen right now, but the RSI is at about 40. So I hope you can see it. Maybe I'll move a little bit. You can see it right here on the bottom. It's about 40. So I expect it to pump a little bit up to maybe about 65, 70, and that's when I'm going to be able to sell. But like I said, if that position doesn't happen, I'm going to get out of this trade just to protect my gains, because I'm trying to grow my account. So every little decrease is quite big for me. So I'm gonna make sure to watch out for that. So keep an eye on that. I'll keep you guys posted on how that works out for me, and I'll keep you guys posted. So let's go into the crypto markets. So all crypto today is green again. So we're back in a little bit of a bullish momentum, although we're still not out of the woods. Like I told you guys yesterday, potentially there's still more that can happen in the markets, because there's still a lot of small FUD. I think I read today that Bing actually banned cryptocurrencies and ICO ads as well. So they're going in and joining a lot of these other search engines, social media sites, unbanning cryptocurrencies on their advertisements. So that's so, that's some FUD, some bearish news. But overall, it's been very good today. It held. That's the greatest thing, that it did not sink further. So if you can see Bitcoin right now, it's holding at about the 8,300 level. If it loses support here, it can drop to 8,000, like I told you guys. And if it breaks to down 7,800 level, then the next support level will not be until 7,000. We don't want that to happen, but it could potentially happen. Ethereum is currently holding at about 708. There's some strong support on the 700 level, but there is some strong resistance on the 725 level as of right now, that we're watching out. If we can be able to break through those resistance levels, then potentially we could be able to continue our bull trend and be able to make some gains. Unfortunately, and like we were predicting, that consensus would bring in a lot of bullish sentiment in the market and cause the crypto markets to increase like it has done historically over the last three or 4 years. But that hasn't happened. I think one of the main reasons, like I was telling you guys yesterday, is the market is sort of maturing, and a lot of the institutional investors, they're not really going to buy in when there is hype. They're smart. Like billionaires are not going to buy in when the market is green. They usually like it when it's red. When the bloods are on the street, that's when a lot of these billionaires and institutional investors get into the market to be able to make massive gains on their positions. So that's potentially what is happening. And of course, there's not a lot of retail investors currently in the space. In most industries, usually the big institutions, the VCs, the big monies are usually first in a new industry, and the retail investors sort of come in after when the market has already settled. But cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other blockchain projects, the retail investors came first because it's the retail investors that really believed in this. It started with those crypto punks that really found value in this market, and they continued to invest in it, continue to hold throughout those downtimes into about 2013, when there was like a 2-year long winter on cryptocurrencies. And so the negative aspects of that was not a lot of the institution money went in. So that's one of the reasons. So when we had the FOMO back in December, when it went up to almost 20K or 20K, a lot of that money is currently gone. They're not coming back yet. So that's sort of the reason. But it's a good thing overall, because the market is going to mature properly, and the proper investors are going to get in on this space, which is good for all of us in the long term. So let's look at the chart, guys. So check this out. Go to Live Coin Watch for you guys. Let's look at the markets for Bitcoin, actually. Right now, the overall market cap is at $386 billion. I think I made a mistake yesterday. I think I said 345,000. It's $386 billion. And the 24-hour volume is up to $20 billion. Bitcoin dominance is still quite big. It's 36%, which is, it's to be expected. But as you can see, historically, let's look at the historical data. So as you can see, the overall volume just for Bitcoin alone is currently sitting, jumping from 7, 8, 6, 5, 7, 6, so it's not really doing that well as far as the amount of volume that is making the markets to push it up. That's one of the reasons. It's because a lot of those over the counter trades that are happening are not really going into the markets. So the big buys that these institutional investors are pouring their billions of dollars in, don't reflect in the market because they're doing it offline. They're doing it over the counter where they don't do it on the market. But there's some big news that I want to share with you guys. I haven't seen this reported on any other YouTube channels yet, but I'm not sure. I haven't been able to look up all the other guys that are posting videos, but I haven't seen this particular news that I'm going to share with you guys. But I just wanted to give you guys some context, right? So let's look at the all time. So back in December, I think that was about December 17th or so. Yeah, yes, right here. Perfect. So December 17th, this is when we had $20,000. But even at that time, we were like 22 billion, 22 billion, 16 billion, 12 billion. So overall, there was a lot of in and out of money within just Bitcoin itself, but that's not happening right now. So that's one of the reasons why I think Bitcoin is just not. It just doesn't have enough momentum for it to push through some of those major resistance. But we'll get there soon enough. All right. So let's go into some details into some of the charts. So I'm looking at the 4-hour chart on Bitfinex currently. So as you can see, we're ending the day in the green. So it did some pullbacks like we've been watching. It went under this 8,800 8,500 level, and it pushed all the way down to, I think this was about 8,000. So but as you can see, it's going up right now, but it's being rejected by the 15-day exponential moving average, guys. So we got to watch this out, because if it doesn't break through that right now, it's getting some major resistance. It could drop to 8,000 and even 7,800 level. So we don't want that to happen. As you can see, there's some support level right here that we're hoping will be able to hold. If not, then we can go down to about 7,000, guys. So so we don't want that to happen, but it can happen. So let's keep an eye on this. We need to get back in. There's good support levels. We need to push up at least above this line right here, above the 8,800 level. And once that happens, then we can make another run towards the 10,000 level. So we'll see how that pans out. So let's look at Ethereum, guys. Oh, by the way, none of this is financial advice, guys. So don't copy my trades. Don't take my advice as, the end all be all. Um, do your own research, find coins, find ETFs, find stocks that you find value in, and invest in those. But just use my strategies sort of as a benchmark for you to get started and, do your own trades. All right. As you can see for Ethereum is holding a little bit better because, although somebody tried to push this down all the way down to about 645, it got rejected and it went back up. So it bounced above the 15-day EMA. As you can see right here, it bounced and it bounced on that. So that's a very, very positive sign. So as long as we can be able to keep up here within the 740 level and break through the 720, as you can see, it's being rejected by that line right now. If we can break through that in the next couple of days, then hopefully we can be able to start getting back into this main channel right here and continue our bull run. And then we're going to hit a major resistance right here on the 850 level, which it tried to touch, but it didn't quite make it there. So that's something that we have to look out for. Currently, I'm on a trade. I have an ETC BTH trade right now. Yeah, so as you can see here, I'm planning to take some profits at around. I got into this position around this area right here. You see the line right there. Oops, sorry. Let me see. Let's look at the arrow instead. So I got into this position at about here. I put a stop loss because I've already gained about 8% of my trade. I'm trying to see if I can get to about 15% at around here. This would be my take profit zone. So let me see here. make that green. And I put my stop loss here. Oops. All right, so as you can see, I put my stop loss here. It's currently trading above the 15-day EMA on, this is the Ethereum and Bitcoin pair. That's still on its mini bull run right now. It's forming a good level of support right here. It's bouncing above, the EMA, the 15-day EMA is forming a good level of support for it. So it's trying to break through that, and hopefully it can bounce up to here. And once that happens, I'm going to take profit and I'm going to jump into another trade that I'm looking into being able to get. So if you're trading Ethereum pairs right now on Bitcoin on Binance, that's sort of my setup. I got in on the position around down here when I saw the pullbacks. And I looked at as you can see here, it was oversold, right? It was oversold right here. If you can see, maybe you guys can't see that. Let me try to see if I can move up my browser a little bit. Okay, perfect. So you guys can see that better. As you can see, the MACD is the moving average convergence divergence chart. It's currently above what I'd like it to be, but of course, it's, when I bought it, it was down here, so it was trading down, and when I got into the position, it's currently good. So I see that it's in a good position right now, that it can continue to go up to about this level, and the RSI is not yet on its oversold levels. I wanted to hit at about the 70, 75, 80% 14-day RSI, and then pull out my money from there. And then I'm going to jump into another trade that I've been watching, which is VeChain. As you can see, VeChain, I did some analysis already. So currently it's bouncing off this. It's trading below the 15-day EMA. It's getting rejected a little bit right now on the 4-hour chart. I want it to bounce up, and once it goes up, I want it to bounce, break down a little bit and bounce off of that as a confirmation that that level of support is going to be a good support, and I'm going to get in on that trade. And potentially, as you can see, there's some resistance right here, but once we pass that resistance level, we could potentially go up. But the profits that could be made from here to about there is about a 10% profit. So once I play that, I could see that swinging for a couple days, and then earning about 10% of my money there. So I'm gonna see how that pans out. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. If that doesn't get rejected, it seems like it's getting rejected by the 15-day EMA right now, as you can see here. If that continues to happen, then I'm not gonna put in my money. But if it does bounce above that, then that's a sign for me that it's a confirmation I'm gonna get in on that trade and see how it happens, because I like the way the chart is forming. It's formed a good flag pattern here. Usually when these flag patterns show up, they'll bounce. If it bounces, these are the resistance line right here, so this is where I would put my stop loss. But the gains that I could lose if I get in on this position, as you can see, I could potentially lose about 5%, but I could potentially gain all the way to about 10%. So 2-to-1, right? That's the odds that I like to play. Because if that happens, if I do 2-to-1, every trade that I make half, right? So every time I continue to do that, I'll double my money every single time. So those are the odds that I like to play. So that's really the market that I want to be able to get into. So don't copy that exactly. Research it. Look at your own technical analysis. Watch some more videos on YouTube. Figure out what other people are doing. But currently, that's the position that I find value in, that I'm gonna get in on once I get my money out from that Ethereum Bitcoin pair. All right. So let's get on some news today, guys. I've been watching this address, right? This is the Mount Gox headache. As you can see, just in the last couple days, they've dumped, on the 9th, they dumped about 5,000 BTC. And then 2 days after that, on the 11th, they dumped again another 5,000. So as you may be wondering, well, this is last week. Why does it matter? Because as you can see, they're moving the stuff to the same address. So that's most likely an exchange address. So when you go to that exchange, this is the great thing about blockchain and cryptocurrencies is all these things are trackable, like I always tell you guys. So, keep that in mind. But let's go to this particular address. As you can see, there's a lot of red. There's a lot of sales that are happening. A lot of people are selling off the pairs. I mean the Bitcoin. See 7, 4. This is just today. 20. This is just all today, guys. 6, 1. Wow, this is a huge transaction here. Oh, somebody bought 10, 7, 4. So as you can see, people are selling a lot of their positions. So that could be a potential thing that's happening also in the crypto space because of the fact that these irresponsible people are dumping their stuff on us. So we'll keep an eye on this. But if you want, go ahead and pause the video, get that address, type that address out, and look at it on blockchain.info and see for yourself. Track these coins and see where it's going. So that's really important to know. So at least you get some idea of what potentially could be going in on the market, right? So I was reading this article earlier today on my lunch break. Crypto Daily. It says, why is Bitcoin falling despite consensus excitement? Basically, it boils down to the players are smarter. They're not gonna buy into the space just because there's hype. Just because consensus is happening, Lambos are being driven in New York City, doesn't mean that the smart investors are gonna get in on it and invest. So that's something that we need to really watch out for. That's why it's not breaking through. But as you can see, they did a chart. It's forming a wedge, an ascending wedge here. So potentially it can bounce here. It'll go back up there and it'll bounce, go back down here. It'll bounce and we can break through that line. That's what we're hoping for. But it can also bounce, break through, and then break down. We don't want that to happen, but that can still happen. There's some strong resistance levels right there. Like I told you guys, on the 10,000 level, there's really heavy resistance there. So we need to be able to break through that 10,000 level. So a bit, like I said, this was a bad cause of a breakdown last week because they were being investigated, and a big chunk of the market was pulled out because the Korean, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Korean exchange. So a lot of the crypto money in Korea got suspended, got paused, because a lot of people just dumped their stuff because they weren't sure what was going to happen with Upbit. So they did their own internal audit, and they're stressing that the results that they saw prove that, hey, we're in the good, we're in the black, no need to worry. But it's still, this is something that we need to continue to watch out for, guys. All right. So another thing that was big news today was, I was talking about Goldman Sachs yesterday and Circle, right? So they announced finally that they are coming up with their own dollar-backed crypto. So that's gonna be huge, guys. So it's gonna be called Circle USDC. So basically, there's Tether, right? There's Tether that's basically acts like a dollar Tether. The price are similar to what the dollar is. So a lot of people trade with those pairs. So Goldman Sachs, they bought Circle. They own Circle, which went ahead and bought Poloniex. So I was telling you guys about that yesterday. So this is very big news that they are already launching their own dollar-backed crypto. Bitcoin Cash today did a hard fork. A lot of times there's some confusion about this. They think that when a cryptocurrency hard forks, that means that the old cryptocurrencies just you get a new copy, right? Like just what happened with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin Cash forked, then you get the same amount of Bitcoin Cash, whatever you're holding on Bitcoin. In this particular case, Bitcoin Cash hard forked on itself. It was more of just an upgrade, because what they did was they basically wanted to prepare themselves to be a more valuable cryptocurrency, more valuable than Bitcoin. That is really what Roger Ver's Roger Ver's and Bitcoin.com's goal is for Bitcoin Cash. It's called the real Bitcoin, right? Because they're trying to upgrade it as much as possible. So the big news about that today is, as you can see here, they increased the block size from 8 megabytes to 32 megabytes. That's huge. That's a 4-time increase on the blockchain size. That means that there's more data, there's more transactions that can be processed at a single time. Um, the reason the Bitcoin Core, for those of you that don't know, the reason that Bitcoin Core does not want to do that is because they don't want excessive data into the blockchain, because it just makes it convoluted and fat, right? They don't want to overextend the network and put too much information on that particular blockchain. So they actually, instead of going from increasing it, they actually decreased it to 4 megabytes. So that's the big difference. And also, one of the other things they said, they reactivated OP nodes. So what that means is, when the original code was developed for Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto, there was some things that would allow it to do more stuff. There was I think the coding, the script, it's called script. That's the language that you can use to be able to write different programs within Bitcoin. And a lot of those codes, a lot of those capabilities got re-enabled by Bitcoin Cash, because it was originally disabled by the Bitcoin Core development group. And so they wanted to be able to follow Satoshi Nakamoto's vision to be able to live up to what Bitcoin was supposed to be, in their opinion. So that's very, very big news. So he says, Roger Ver, this is from him this morning. He says there are multiple Bitcoins, just like there are multiple blockchains, but only Bitcoin Cash conforms to the version of Bitcoin described by Satoshi in his white paper. So, that's definitely one of the reasons why there's a lot of people that are very, very bullish on Bitcoin Cash right now, because transaction fees for it are a lot cheaper when you consider the amount of data, the amount of processing power that you can be able to put into a 32 megabyte block. So that's really, really, really big news, guys. Another big news that came out from the consensus today was that Jack Dorsey, he's the CEO of Square, and he's also the CEO of Twitter. He's the founder and CEO of Twitter. He said that, this is from Bloomberg, that Bitcoin as a currency is what will be used for the future. That's what he's seeing as the future of money. He sees Bitcoin as the currency of the future. He said that the internet deserves a native currency. It will have a native currency. That's what he says. He says, I don't know if it'll be Bitcoin or not, but I hope it will be. So that's very, very bullish news on Bitcoin. I know we were just talking about Bitcoin Cash and how they're improving their stance as the real Bitcoin, right? But this is, in and of itself, great, great news and about Bitcoin itself. So, that's really something that we need to look out for. So the last piece of news that I want to be able to share with you guys today was, since we were on the topic of a dollar tether by Circle, that's being launched by Goldman Sachs backed Circle, Binance is set to list another type of tether, which is true USD stablecoin, right? Right now, let's see what the price, where stablecoin is being traded. So as you can see, it's $1, right? It's $1.2 because it should stay there. The price should stay within that range. As you can see, the price, this green price right here is 1.99, 98 cents, $1. It goes up there. It bounced. It went up a little bit to $1.20 today because of the FOMO. But as you can see right now, it's only on Bittrex, Upbit, CoinTiger, Kuna. But when it gets listed in Binance, that's another trading pair that you could be able to use on Binance. Currently on Binance, you could use Ethereum, you could use Bitcoin, you could use Tether, and Binance Coin. Now you'll be able to have a fifth one, which is True USD. So this is very, very bullish news. I think this is May 18th. Yeah. So May 18th, this Friday at 4 a.m. UTC, they will be starting to trade that pair on Binance. The big difference with this is it's regulatory compliant. Tether, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that Tether just keeps printing money, billions and billions and billions of dollars, and so they're devaluing the value of Tether, and they fired their auditor and stuff like that. There's a whole FUD back in, I believe, November or December about Tether. So you could research a little bit more about that. But overall, that's what's happening to this particular new trading pair, stablecoin. So let's read a quote by Binance. In the true USD system, US dollars are held in the bank account of multiple trust companies that have signed escrow agreements rather than in a bank account controlled by a single company. That's the big difference between Tether, because Tether they're controlling those deposits, and it's not really open for you to be able to scrutinize. But this one, they're saying they're regulatory compliant because there's escrows in place where they will not be able to withdraw, so they can't have more money. They can't have more true USD than what is actually held as a dollar deposit in a multi trust bank account. The contents of said bank accounts are published every day and are subject to monthly audits. So that's really, really, really big news to be able to really verify that it is backed by real dollars. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. I'm looking forward to how that's going to work. I'm going to definitely try it out once it goes on Binance, because that's where I mostly trade my coins. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today, guys. We're at 37 minutes today. I really, really appreciate the time that you spent with me today. I hope that I was able to provide you some value. I'm excited to be able to share these news with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video to see what happened in the crypto space. I'll give you guys an update on how my UGAS position does as well. And from there, I look forward to seeing you again. Again, please do subscribe. If you haven't done so, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and please comment. I really, really love to see your comments so that I can be able to improve the channel, give you more value, and let's discuss what other content you'd like me to cover. I can cover more than just cryptocurrencies. It's just sort of my focus right now because it's the one that I'm doing the most. But we can talk about e-commerce, internet marketing in general, leadership. I run a department. I'm a head of a marketing for a fashion brand. I can give you a lot of leadership advice as well. Holding up, being a father. All that stuff. We can talk all about that. So I'm looking forward to grow this channel and be able to get more subscribers, and hopefully relatively soon I can do that and get some live streaming happening on this particular channel, so we can talk, all of us, and trying to build this rat grind community. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. So until I see you on the next video, I wish you and your family a success-filled day. Love you guys. Bye.